Welcome everyone and happy Global Wellness Day. I am so excited and honored to be here with you today. My name is Kimberly Snyder and I'm a New York Times Best-Selling Author. I have a new book out called You Are More Than You Think You Are. And I'm also a holistic wellness expert. And today I want to focus on our topic, which is how to find true wellness from within. And wellness can feel like a little bit ambiguous, can feel a little bit confusing, but it's really more broad. I believe it's a lot more holistic than just numbers, such as how much you weigh or how many hours you work out in a week or how many calories you're burning or all this quantitative analysis. To me, true wellness is about harmony and it's about deep, deep self-connection. So the aspect of finding harmony or finding wellness from within is honing your own intuition. And so this is a aspect of wellness that I have seen over the years in being a nutritionist, being a meditation teacher, working with hundreds and hundreds of people, from top celebrities to everyday people like you and me, busy moms, students, so on and so forth. And what I have found is the power of intuition cannot be overestimated. So again, wellness is really about inner harmony. So that means that since each of us is unique, what is right for each of us, how we are meant to eat, how we are meant to take care of ourselves, the lifestyle that we are meant to follow, the relationships that serve us to the highest degree is a very unique thing. So that, coupled with the fact that we live in a very noisy world, I don't need to tell you that. There's a lot of information coming at us all the time from the media and social media and alerts and apps and our friends and a million different things. It can become very confusing about what to do. Something as simple as what to eat, the statistics on the confusion around dieting and the fact that it continues to grow globally, billions and billions and billions of dollars, points to the fact that most all of us have lost that deep connection to our intuition. So in working with all these different clients over the years, I have found that teaching people more and more about honing this very important skill is a huge aspect of growing not only our health, our vitality, our true wellness, and our peace and our joy. Because wellness is not just the physical body, it's also our mental well-being, our emotional well-being, and our spiritual well-being, which I define as our connection to the true self, to who we are beyond the fear and the mind chatter. So really what my new book is about is connecting to the true self. So let's explain what that means for a moment, because it's connected to wellness. It's connected to harmony. It's connected to all the things that we want in life. The ego, or the shell of who we are, is out here. It's sensing the external world through our peripheral nervous system, through the five senses. So if we're always living and all our attention is flowing out through these senses, we get a lot of conflicting and confusing information all the time. And what this does when we live in a state of constant confusion and constant sort of just looking around, our nervous systems get imbalanced and there's more inflammation in our bodies. We tend to age faster. There's just massive confusion. Our peace levels go down, and even dysbiosis in the gut can occur, impaired digestion. It can be a contributing factor to autoimmune conditions and so many other things, not to mention fatigue and just chronically feeling anxiety increasing, or on the other end, slothfulness and depression. So what we want to do is create more of that inner harmony. And the way that we do that means that we create more of a flow experience in life, where we can take all this information that our peripheral nervous system is sensing, and we bring it through this filter known as intuition. And then we are guided more in life. We feel more confident in what we're doing. We're not always second guessing ourselves. And we're coming from this place of what is right for me, which may not be the right thing for your best friend or your neighbor or someone you're following on Instagram or whatever it is, right? So there's this individual aspect of wellness that's so important to address. And when we become more harmonious and well within ourselves, we're able to serve more, we're able to love more, we're able to be more efficient and productive in our work and more creative. And so it really does expand from the inside out. Our lives shift from the inside out, and our ability to make a positive difference in the world is created from the inside out. So as I mentioned earlier, the ego, which is the fear and the mind chatter, is not necessarily bad per se. Our egos try to protect us in a way, but if all our attention is flowing outward, we tend to be in that confused state on a chronic long-term basis. So what we want to do is we want to put some of this attention in a conscious way and flow our energy back inward into our central nervous system, into our gut, into our hearts, where we can discern what is best for us. So our central nervous system is our spinal column, and it is our brain. So now I'm going to talk about 5 specific practical ways that you can start to really hone this inner voice, or what the great yoga guru Paramahansa Yogananda, who brought yoga to the West, calls the infallible counsel of the inner voice. And from this place, we tend to make better decisions. Again, we get more into that flow state. Instead of depleting energy, we start to build it, and everything in our life starts to shift from the inside out. You ready? Okay, so my first practical tip is to tune into the wisdom of your body. So the mental chatter is literally happening up here with all the racing thoughts, the thousands of thoughts that we think all the time. And if we try to just make decisions, including about which diet to follow or what you're supposed to make for lunch from this very mental place, it can be very disconnected to what is right for you personally. So what you want to do as you're reading something, it could be a chart, it could be information on a piece of paper on a screen, is you want to tune in to your body's wisdom. It could be something that someone says. It could be making the decision about whether to go on a second date with someone. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So when the mind gets confused, the ego gets confused, drop into your body. And what I like to do to practice is just put one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly, and breathe down and see, is there a tightening sensation in your body? Is there butterflies? Is there something that just feels off kilter? Or do you feel open and expansive? Do you feel like your body is drawing you towards a certain decision? Whether it's like, oh, should I eat a hot soup for lunch today? Or should I have a cold salad, right? So it's really feeling what your body is telling you through tightening or loosening or all sorts of cues, and you can become aware more and more of the language of your body the more you start to tune in. So number 2 is, and I especially recommend this before you make any important decisions. Number 2 is to stay open and to start to go beyond rigidity about your likes and your dislikes and your preconceived notions. Now, this is a very important aspect that's talked about in the Vedic texts, including the Bhagavad Gita, these ancient texts that come from India that teach us about lifestyle. And they teach us about how to win the battle of the mind, so to speak, how to go past fear and into love and expansion. So if we get really set in, no, I can't eat any carbs, I can never eat bread, or I just don't like this, or I don't like that, we close ourselves off to the infinite possibilities, including ones that may be the right choice for us. So in chapter 11 of this book, which is called You Are an Intuitive Body, I'll give you a little personal example about when I met my husband, who was completely different than everybody I had ever met and ate very differently than me and is completely covered in tattoos. And I'd come out of a period of a lot more connection inside, so that when I met him, I didn't go right by him, which would have been a terrible travesty. I could tune into his energy and his heart. And sometimes we really do block ourselves if we're so set and we're so rigid. So on a daily basis, start to practice more observing versus judging. Unless your opinion is really needed, try to pull back and just witness and observe more. And that teaches us to be more open and to go beyond our own blocks and open us up to the best path for us. Number 3, notice hurry mode. Hurry mode is of the ego. And it's really coming from lack. I don't have enough time. I have to rush through this meal. I have to walk fast. I have to answer these emails fast. Start to notice if your speech gets fast and your actions start to get fast. You're just trying to get on to the next thing. When we're rushing, we're coming from that egoic place, and we're not coming from the deep, more balanced, harmonious energy of the true self from intuition. So remind yourself, if you start to notice that fast, I gotta do more, that is lack. That's the opposite of abundance. That's the opposite of harmony. And it's the opposite of what we want to create, which is true wellness from within. When we come from this place of intuition and moving in flow, we do not need to hurry. We do not need to rush. We don't need to cram more in, because we tend to be more productive with actually doing less. And it's a very, very powerful way to live life. So start to notice, I gotta, decide what to eat really fast. I gotta just make something really fast, and start to slow down, take some deep breaths, and remind yourself that you do not need to hurry. You just need to reset and come into more of a flow state. And now, number 4 is to create more stillness in your life. And stillness and silence is something that we have to consciously carve out and create. It is not something that's going to be handed to us in this very busy world. So these are very practical boundaries that you need to set. So for me, that includes batching times I'm on social media. I don't let alerts come in, dribble into my phone all the time, which pulls me off my focus or makes me compare maybe what I'm eating or what I'm doing to someone else. You want to go on social media, let's say 8 to 8:15, 12 to 12:10, whatever, set times, so that the rest of the time you can listen more to your inner voice and get out of all that peripheral nervous system, constantly looking around with the senses, which again, over time adds to many different issues, from confusion all the way up to self-esteem issues, body dysmorphia, and so on and so forth. So we really want to create more stillness. Again, you can batch social media, regular media, even texts. I answer a bunch at once. And I go on a walk every day where I don't have my phone on, or it's on airplane mode. So I have it if there's an emergency, but there isn't things coming at me all the time. And I find that stillness time invaluable in coming up with your best ideas, feeling your own voice, being able to speak to you across your life. Again, whether it's in relationships or your work or lifestyle shifts or how to eat and so on and so forth. And my 5th and final and perhaps most important tip is to meditate. So meditation is the ultimate taking the senses and taking that attention that's always flowing out here through the senses into the world and tuning it into your central nervous system. So yoga and true meditation is really about union. So it's about union with you and the universe, or spirit, source, whatever word you want to use. And it's a very powerful way. It's the most powerful way to really develop that connection to your heart, to your intuition. So what I recommend is making it a regular part of your life. You can start with the morning or any time that feels good to you, but make it consistent. And the more that you get into this practice, the more the benefits increase so much. It's made such a big difference in my life, which is why I'm so passionate about it. It's created so much more clarity for me in my relationships, as I mentioned, and also how to eat, how to exercise, which I tend to shift a little bit seasonally, and so on and so forth. So I offer a whole library of free guided meditations in the method I've developed called the Practical Enlightenment Meditation Method, which you can check out on our free Solluna app if you'd like to find a method that is effective for that inner connection where I can guide you through. So it's been such an honor to be here with you today for Global Wellness Day. And I hope this gave you some practical inspiration on how to create more of that beautiful inner wellness, which is available to all of us. We just need to really be stewards of our own energy. We need to put in those healthy boundaries and follow some of these practical tools and practices on a regular basis. And then that inner connection builds, intuition builds, confusion and fear go down. And then your whole life will expand to become truly more well, healthy, peaceful, and joyful. So thank you again so much. Once again, my name is Kimberly Snyder, sending you so much love and so much gratitude. Namaste.